Alright, so if you haven't figured it out yet, I love to cook. But sometimes I get carried away and just expect that everybody wants to cook the bougie food that I like. Maybe I need to take it back to the basics and teach some really simple cooking techniques for people who haven't spent any time in a kitchen. Maybe you don't know how to cook an egg. Maybe you don't know how to chop an onion. Maybe you don't know how to make really good mashed potatoes. If that sounds like you, then you're in the right place. And the first back to basics recipe we're making, French toast. Let's get going. Okay, if your cutting board is sliding around like this, that's super dangerous. I'm going to show you a quick fix for it. You can put a damp kitchen towel underneath it, or I'm actually using a silicone mat. They're pretty inexpensive and you can get them online. I'll drop a link in the description. We're going to do some macerated strawberries and cream with our French toast. You could always go the classic route with maple syrup and butter. This elevates it a little bit and it's actually a little lighter. Take the tops off your strawberries, then cut them in half. Lay the flat side down so it's stable. And then we're going to slice them. Keep the tip of your knife on the cutting board and just rock back and forth. This way you don't nick yourself with the knife. Once we get all our strawberries cut up, we're going to macerate them in sugar. I'm actually using vanilla sugar that I made. You could just use plain sugar and vanilla extract, but if you want to make some vanilla sugar, it's really simple. Just take the pod and put it in a container of sugar for at least a week, and you get this amazing vanilla scented sugar. I use it for everything. We're going to use about a half cup of sugar and just stir it into the strawberries really well and throw it in your refrigerator. It needs to sit for at least an hour, but up to a day is fine. Now we're going to do a thick cut on some crusty bread. I'm using some leftover sourdough I have. If you're not making your own sourdough bread, I totally get it. Go to a local bakery, buy a nice crusty loaf of bread. Even most grocery stores have crusty bread in their bakery section. Trust me, you want the texture, you want the chew. It's such a better product than white bread. It's squishy, it's flavorless, it does not make good French toast. Alright, now we're going to make the custard. Here's where most people go wrong with French toast. Aside from the bread, typically just beat up a couple eggs, maybe put a little bit of milk or sugar in it. It ends up being mostly egg though. You end up with this almost omelet encased piece of bread. It's not good, it's not what French toast is meant to be. We're gonna make a real custard and it makes such a difference. Get a shallow dish and beat a couple eggs into it, and then we're gonna add about 2 cups of heavy cream, tablespoon, maybe 2 of cinnamon. Because we're making strawberry French toast, I'm adding strawberry extract. This is optional though. Then of course I'm using my vanilla sugar. Plain sugar would be fine, just add some vanilla extract to get the flavor. We're gonna add about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of sugar. Now mix this all together really well. You'll notice that we have much more dairy than egg. This is how you make a proper custard. French toast should be delicious by itself. It shouldn't need strawberries and cream on top, or maple syrup and butter. The bread with the custard should be good on its own. The rest is just a bonus. Be sure there are no clumps of cinnamon left, and then we're going to soak our bread. We want to leave it in the custard for at least 30 minutes. You couldn't do this with plain white bread. Plain white bread would pretty much dissolve in 30 minutes. Thick crusty bread, especially sourdough, makes a big difference in French toast. Now we're going to make our whipped cream. Start with about 1 cup of heavy cream with a splash of vanilla extract and about 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. We're just going to whisk this until it thickens. It's going to take a little while. If you've got a hand mixer, or you could even use a stand mixer, that's fine. It's not hard to mix it, it just takes a little bit of time. Just continue to beat the cream mixture back and forth or in a circle until it gets thick. You'll start noticing ribbons appear as it thickens. That's how you know you're getting close. That's all it takes to make amazing whipped cream. Now we're going to melt a couple tablespoons of butter in a non-stick pan on a medium heat. I like to give my bread another flip to make sure it's thoroughly coated, and then just drop it in the pan. Because of the amount of sugar we have in the custard, it can burn relatively easy, so we need to keep an eye and make sure it doesn't get too dark. This is a flexible spatula. It's actually made for turning fish, but it works perfect for French toast because you can get underneath it gently without tearing the custard off. Notice how much different that looks than the French toast you're used to. It's not yellow, it doesn't look like an omelet, it looks golden brown and delicious. The French toast is done when it's brown on both sides and the custard is completely set. Just squish the bread a little bit and make sure no liquid is seeping out. Then you're good to go. To finish it, we're going to take our strawberries, which you can see are now macerated. The sugar has leached out all the juice from the strawberries, and now we have a beautiful strawberry syrup. Just spoon that over and be sure to get some of the syrup on there and top with the whipped cream. French toast is very easy to make, but it's also very easy to make wrong.